Monday morning. I should be getting ready to go to work right now, but instead I'm buying some gear today. Gonna do a handoff in Temple, Texas. It's a 2.5 hour drive from my front door. So I missed a job for a regular client media company. They shot me a text when I was at the gym. So I work with a personal trainer twice a week when I'm not working, and 1 hour session. So I try to empty out my pockets, leave my phone on the shelf for that hour while we're working out. So got this text to work next day, and it took me 45 minutes to respond. By the time I pinged back, they had filled it. I get it. They were trying to fill panic thing. And how that usually works out is that I think it was a week of work. It may have only been 1 day, but most likely it was a week, which would have covered like 6 weeks of personal expenses and business. I gotta do a better job making my bed back here. Jeez. So that used to really stress me out, give me all kinds of neurotic anxiety, just paranoid, constantly checking phone and email like every minute. But it doesn't anymore. I mean, it makes for, I guess, some good YouTube content, but it's just kind of the way it is. Some things are last minute, some are not. Sometimes you're just filling a checklist for someone who's got to solve a whole bunch of problems real quick. I've been in the producing seat trying to crew things out, and like, I feel the same way. Like, I'm trying to get makeup, hair, art department, some grips, electric, camera assistance, VTR. And when I get all those inquiries out, like, I don't want to ping 3 people for each role and then have to just accept the first reply and tell the other 2, oh, I covered it. And you try to ask the first person, give them a courtesy time span, move on to the next. So, generally I try to do at least an hour. But anyway, I get it. No hard feelings. Stings a little bit. This month, just nothing has been coming together. I wonder if this would be better. I'm going to put this on the floor. Just because, I have one confirmed day this month. I was supposed to go on a 5-state airline job. I don't know what happened there, if they went with a different DP, or I think it just still hasn't been approved by client. So maybe it'll push into March, April, May. It's February right now, middle of February. So I have one confirmed day next week. I have a hold for this Wednesday. We'll see if that confirms. I'll find out today, yes or no. But so anyway, that could have been, looks like that would have been my biggest gig of the month. And so it goes. All right, we'll talk on the road about new gear. Topping off the fuel, gonna pick up some tacos and a cup of coffee. So this weekend I sold one of my Amiras to Ryan Mitchell Media. He's based in the Dallas-Fort Worth market. He was on a project down in San Antonio this weekend, so we met up, did the exchange, had dinner, got chatting, and Ryan just picked up an FX3 package. He's using it on one shoot day and decided the FX6 would be a better fit for him. So today I'm going to buy Ryan's FX3 up in, we're meeting halfway, which is Temple, Texas, which is about, I think, an hour north of Austin. It's in the low 60s today. Perfect opportunity to take advantage of my bunk in my work truck. I love this setup. I should have done this many years prior for all my commuting in Southern California. Had some comments on my last few video posts of road work, people saying, you're not charging enough if you have to sleep in your truck. And let me tell you, when I run into other freelancers on the road and they see my truck, they all instantly understand. This is not a budget rate finance thing. It's a choice. It is so wonderful to be able to have a place to lay down and get a nap in during breaks. And when I do these long road trips, I much prefer, first of all, to drive over fly anytime I can make that work with my schedule, even if it's something that's going to cost me more out of pocket. Although in most cases, clients are happy to cover my mileage in addition to my travel rate for my own labor. I've put in far too much time sitting around in airports, tweaking my back, wrangling Pelican cases through baggage and in and out of rental cars. So much better having my own rig. The truck stays packed and prepped for most jobs. When I fly, I have to spend a half a day before and a half day after getting into and out of airline travel mode, where when I get my van, I can just get in it and go. And the overnights on the road, when the weather fits, I get a better night's sleep in this truck. This is the same mattress I have at home, so I get my same pillow, everything's the same. Those random one-offs, roadside motels, I have trouble getting a good night's sleep. Most of those trucker motels too, those mattresses are worn out and you fall in the trough in the middle. I can go at my own pace, and if at any point during the drive I get drowsy, I just pull over and take a nap. I did that on my last trip. I got up a little bit earlier. I think I got on the road at like 5:30 in the morning. It might have been 9 a.m. and I was just getting drowsy. So I pulled over, slept for 90 minutes, woke up totally recharged, and was able to carry on. And my makeshift countertop, I slammed this together in an afternoon before my first road trip in this truck. I had a sheet of plywood and some 2x4s, just knocked it together. My intention was always to make a nice cabinet with doors, laminate countertop, but this thing has been functional, and so I just haven't put the time in to make something nicer. I know it's ugly. I got my shelf of my personal junk and it gets overfilled, but you know, I get cups of tea, energy bars, toothbrush, toiletries. And really, when I'm on the road, those restaurant meals are just, it's hard. It's not always the healthiest stuff. So I like to, I've got a little blender. I can make protein shakes. I got a camping stove with a skillet, so I can do like the bacon and egg breakfast. I like to pick up at Trader Joe's. I'll get a bunch of instant meals that I keep in the fridge. I like the Indian vegetarian stuff that I can just use a saucepan or a skillet to heat up for a quick, healthier meal than on the road. And again, it's not a budget thing, it's a health thing, and also being able to just pull over and eat when I'm hungry versus trying to get to a specific restaurant. And then working out in the field, particularly covering the border the past year, some of those neighborhoods make me nervous. I got all this equipment in the truck, and while I can bring a camera or some select items into the hotel room, I'm not going to spend the hour plus it would take to offload all this kit into my room, and that's going to draw a lot more attention than just having a generic panel van in a parking lot where I hop out with my personal luggage. I've had nights where I've checked into hotels in neighborhoods I just was not super comfortable with leaving the truck, and I've showered in my hotel room and then slept in the truck to be my own on-site security.
Blackberry cobbler?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, only do Blackberry.
Big van and the little van.
Just for FYI, there are a couple people that make some cages and stuff like that. Okay. But otherwise, I haven't had any issues with it. You just toss it right on there, and then, you know, it's a great little nice and balanced rig. You know, super easy, and then a nice flip out on there, or you can flip it back into there. Super awesome. So there's that. A couple chargers, 4 batteries, plus one in there, I believe.
The advance of technology. I sold my 6-figure Amira package and replaced it with an FX3. So items from Ryan: camera body, 1 time code cable, audio top handle, 2 Sony chargers, 5 Sony brand batteries, and I think I'll pick up a couple of quad USB chargers for travel. I want to have enough charging slots so that all my batteries can charge at the same time. And then I ordered some additional items from B&H. I got 2 cards. I'm going to pick up 2 more for a total of 4, and I think the other 2 I may go with the bigger size. I think it's 240 gig, but starting with 2. Couple of filters and 2 card readers, a dummy battery plate to P-tap. This will be so I can run off my gold mount batteries when I'm tripod mode in like 3 camera interviews with my FX9s, and maybe, depending on the gimbal setup, possibly when in gimbal mode with a bunch of accessories. variable ND. I think that's what this is, right? Yeah, Tiffin variable ND. And then slowly building out my Sigma Prime kit, the edition of a 24. And then I got the Sony, the new model, smaller size, 24 to 70, Model 2 that's got the aperture ring. And then this was my year-end purchase back in end of December. I got the lens case and I added a 85 Sigma. This is the same DGDN with the aperture ring. And in beginning of 2020, January 2020, I purchased this Sigma 50 Art, which I don't know if the ones with the aperture rings existed at the time. I purchased this at Sammy's Camera in California, just over the counter. It was either this or the Sony model at the time. Anyway, lens is good. I'm happy with it. Although now that I have aperture rings, I do wish it had an aperture ring. So I'm gonna, let's see, the 24 will go right here. Next purchase will be a 35. And I don't think I'm gonna go any wider than that, and probably not any more telephoto either. However, I think I'm gonna keep the 24 to 70 in this case. It fits. The lens shade is a little too big. I might have to open this up a little bit to make it fit.